What is going on, apes? Welcome back to the channel. AMC had an incredible day today. I have a theory about this that I did just make a video about, that essentially shorts are not covering, but it is hedge funds and institutions that are going long on AMC. I broke that all down, so check that out in the latest video. We will briefly go over it in this video, but not as much in detail. Now, I do want to talk about in detail what is going on with the government shutdown situation, why I do think that actually hedge funds, institutions, like I said, are buying AMC, as well as the overnight reverse repurchase agreements and how they have now hit $1.6 trillion. So there is a rush to capital. I'm also going to be giving you guys my prediction on what I think could happen with AMC, because I think we are very close to the MOAS. But keep in mind, these are only my opinions, not meant to be taken literally. Yes, if you agree with the logic here, by all means agree with it, come to your own conclusions, but I am simply only providing my opinion and the facts that you guys need to know. So tap, tickle, touch, or smash that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think about all of this information. So AMC did go from a low of $33.74 earlier in the day to a high of $41.50 per share. That is a move of about $8.50 from the bottom to the top. This was a very volatile move. It did look like for a brief second that shorts may have possibly been covering, but the more details and digging you do into the move that we did see, it doesn't logically make a lot of sense. Here's why. Today is the last day of Q3, meaning this is the last day to lock in profits or losses for Q3 for mainly tax purposes, and you see a lot of portfolio managers do a lot of portfolio rebalancing. But as we do know, AMC has been directly correlating the overall markets, and where the markets sit right now, it looks highly likely that we will continue going down. You guys can see the markets since last November of 2020 have been following this 50-day moving average, bouncing off of this about 8 or 9 times now, and then really not even coming close to the 100-day moving average since back here October 29th, when we did cross briefly under that and then did bounce right back over this to the 50-day, and have been following that pattern ever since. Now that we did break this 50-day moving average, this was back here on September 17th, fell down to the 100-day, bounced back up to the 50-day, found some resistance at this 50-day, and then bounced back down to the 100-day, and then remained here for a couple of days, about 3 trading days, and then we did just gap down under the 100-day moving average. So this did trigger a lot of sells to go off. And just taking a look at the move that we did see at the end of today, this is the highest volume that we have seen throughout this whole entire sell-off, coming at the last 5 minutes of trading today. And these hedge funds, these institutions, they probably had a pretty decent idea that this was going to happen and that the markets are going to continue to come down. So if hedge funds, institutions thought AMC was going to continue to go down substantially further, why would they cover on their short positions and realize all of those massive losses? It simply does not make any logical sense at this point. Feel free to critique my judgment of the situation. Let me know if there's something I am missing. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But that is simply put why shorts were not covering today, as well as the ortex data. We will go over that right now. We'll actually refresh the page to see if there's any new updates. We are not seeing a lot of return shares, and yes, this is T+2 settlement time, but these are supposed to be from changes today as far as the return shares and borrowed shares, and that is only coming in 2.55 million shares that were returned from the free float, not necessarily shares that were covered. So you're not seeing this reflected here. You're also not seeing it reflected for a potential gamma squeeze. So all in all, hedge funds, institutions are buying AMC stock. That is the reasonable conclusion that I can come to as far as all the data that we do have access to. Now, the estimated current short interest percentage of free float is 20.53%. Estimated shares that are sold short of 105.02 million. 85.91% share utilization, which means there is plenty of shares that can still be sold short. So you're not looking at a forced share recall as well. The brokers are not calling up the hedge funds and telling them they need their shares back and they have to cover. Free float on loan 22.53%, so we still do have room for the short interest to continue to climb. Now, the stock tracker data, just briefly before we get into this government shutdown situation, as well as the overnight reverse repurchase agreements. we are only looking at about 30,000 calls that are in the money, as well as about 21,000 puts that are in the money. So you're not seeing enough options activity to see a gamma squeeze. Definitely not that would support the move that we did see today, about an $8 move from the bottom to the top. That just is off the table. At the most, you're seeing 2.9 million shares that would have to be hedged for, and a lot of these were already hedged for due to the fact that today was Thursday and tomorrow is Friday. So that is what you guys need to know. Hopefully this does resonate with you guys and make some level of sense. Now let's get into the government shutdown situation. They are not going to shut down unless Biden somehow does not, sign this bill. It says House passes government funding bill, sends it to Biden with shutdown deadline hours away. We're just going to read the key points really quick. Congress moved Thursday to prevent a government shutdown before a midnight deadline. Both chambers of Congress passed a bill that would fund the government through December 3rd, sending it to President Joe Biden's desk. Passing a funding plan will resolve one crisis while lawmakers try to deal with another, a looming threat of default unless Congress raises or suspends the debt ceiling. And that is the big thing that the markets are really looking forward to. And I guess I totally called this wrong, and we won't know officially until tomorrow after the government is officially going to stay funded after Biden does sign this. But I was expecting a positive move to the upside if we did get the government funded, due to the fact that a lot of investors would essentially have a further level of confidence that Congress will be able to come to an agreement on the debt ceiling, which is the huge problem that we do have going on right now. Nobody wants to default on their debt. That would be uncharted waters, looking at a 30 to 50% decline in the overall stock market. So definitely nobody wants that. That would trigger the AMC short squeeze. It would be a monstrous short squeeze if that did happen. Billions, trillions of dollars of liquidity would just dry up. I don't expect this to happen, but we'll have to wait and see tomorrow if we do get a bounce from this and what the effect on AMC will be. So tomorrow, if we don't see a bounce in the markets, if we do sell off and the government stays funded, I will right my wrong that I was wrong, that this obviously didn't give investors confidence that the debt ceiling would be raised. So I do want to acknowledge when I am wrong on something. It is too early to tell on that situation. So that should be a positive. I'm still thinking it will be a positive for the overall markets. Now, let's talk about the overnight reverse repurchase agreements, because this is coming in at, let's zoom in to right now. And actually, I just did that wrong, actually. So we will back up and zoom into right now. Today, $1,604,881,000,000 of overnight reverse repurchase agreements. Now, I'm sure you guys already know this, but this either means there's too much cash outstanding or there is a need for basically safe collateral. And something that I do want to point out is, especially right now when the markets are so turbulent, the collateral is not valued the same. Let's say you had a portfolio of $100 million or $100 billion. It doesn't matter what the size is. If a lot of investors, a lot of banks think the market is going to go down, you're going to have to put more collateral in your short positions or your long positions, just for your margin account in general, because nobody knows how low the market will fall. That is the nature of the market. So that is why you are seeing this rush to safe collateral, because these bonds are not going to fluctuate in price. So say you put, $100 million into treasury bonds. I believe the cap is $160 million per participant, and it was 80 million, but they did bump that back up. 80 million, might be 80 billion, not exactly sure the number. That is not important. But say you have $100 million of stock and you're looking at a potential 30 to 50% downtrend if the debt ceiling situation is not resolved, or you have $100 million or $100 billion worth of treasury bonds, this collateral is seen as much safer, and you're going to need less of it to remain in your short positions and to fund your margin accounts. So I think that is what is going on here. I think it just shows the level of fear, and you guys can see as the market has been selling off, going from about $1 trillion now to $1.6 trillion. That's about a 60% increase from where we just were right here September 15th when the markets did start to make a move to the downside. So I think this just highlights the level of fear and uncertainty and doubt that is in the marketplace as we do currently speak. Now, something else to really tie the whole situation together. And I know I kind of skipped around a lot, so have patience with me. I do apologize for that. But is that we are seeing a lot of buying going in for the month of September around AMC stock as well. All of these are buys, and we're seeing some large positions going in. 235,000 shares, 120,000 shares right there, and I just totally messed that up. But you guys get the point. There's a lot of buying that is going on with AMC stock, so definitely looking good right there. You're not seeing a lot of selling as far as being reflected in the 13F filings that have been coming out over the past couple of weeks, really in the month of September. Now, the last thing that we do have to go over is the technical analysis on AMC, and I do want to make this pretty brief because nobody knows what is going to happen, but obviously this is obvious. We have to stay above $40 per share. I think you're going to get that boost above $40 per share here tomorrow. We are now at what, $38 and what, 67 cents. I believe Weeble's saying. It's weird how they split this up with regular trading and after hours. I believe $38.67 per share. So it does look like we are very close to going above 40. If we can get above 40, you're going to see a lot more people start to buy back into the stock. I wish I had bought more. I only bought about $1,000 worth of AMC today. I believe it was about 40 shares in total. That was about $37 per share. So I definitely could have got in a little bit sooner, but the volatility, the price action to the upside was incredible. Potential downside, guys, if this whole debt ceiling situation doesn't play out, I think you're likely to fall to about $30 per share, and about $20 per share is my worst case scenario. But if we do fall that far, the markets are, you know, would have cratered anyways, and you're going to be really at the doorstep of seeing this collateral drying up, liquidity drying up, and the shorts covering on their short positions in a massive amount. So that is what you guys need to know. It is going to be volatile either way it does go, to the upside or the downside. Definitely looks like it will be a positive price action coming tomorrow. So that is what you guys need to know. Drop that like on the video, as well as consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this information. Critique this, add to this. Let me know what you guys think. I pretty much respond to every single comment. Also, if you guys want to directly support the channel, 2 links linked down below, link for public as well as the link for Webull. Also, if you guys want to get access to the buy and sell alerts, join a great community where we win on a majority of our trades, and we keep it very inexpensive so anybody is financially able to join. We make trades on everything: stock, options, and crypto, passive trades, day trades, swing trades, longer term investments. Like I said, definitely check that out if you guys do want to. It pays for itself. But with all that being said, guys, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Get ready for tomorrow, and I will see you in the next video.